studies have shown that when we create this anticipatory anxiety, the amount of deep sleep that you have drops significantly. You don't sleep as well. And therefore, if we just do this little sort of version, this LITE version of the morning flight, which is we know that when we go to bed and we put our phone down, we know that when we wake up every morning, we're just going to open it up to that hit of anxiety every morning. No wonder our sleep can start to get shallow. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, don't take your phone into the bedroom, because the genie is out the bottle. And no matter what I say, it's not going back in anytime soon. And a friend of mine, Michael Grandner, has got this beautiful framework where he says, you can take your phone into your bedroom. It's fine. But you can only use your phone standing up.
Oh. What's his name?
Michael Grandner. He's brilliant.
Tell him to mind his own business.
and what happens is that you're there and you think after about 7 or 8 minutes, I'm just going to have a bit of a sit down here. As soon as that phone goes away. So I would say that digital detox is the first friend that will really help your sleep. The second is regularity. And we'll come on to regularity when we speak about what really makes for good sleep. If you were to only do one thing, not 3 things, but just one thing, go to bed and wake up at the same time, no matter whether it's the weekday or the weekend, regularity is king.
Okay, so that's the third pillar.
That's correct. Regularity.
Okay, and then I have the T for timing.
Correct.
Which we'll go through these. Quantity, which we've talked a little bit about already, and quality.
Correct. So when I looked at the science, for me, I created this framework of the 4 macros of good sleep. You've heard of the 3 macros of food, macronutrients, fat, protein, carbohydrate. To me, there are 4 macros of good sleep, and it's QQRT. And it stands for quantity, quality, regularity, and timing. Think of it less like pillars, but the 4 legs of a chair. And if any one of these becomes unstable, the chair will topple over. So I'll probably start with the one that people have heard me bang on about, which is quantity, 7 to 9 hours. This myth of 8 hours is nonsense. It's a wonderful range, 7 to 9 hours. And what we know is that using that sweet spot of 7 to 9 hours, when you get less than that, the shorter your sleep, the shorter your life.
Fuck.
Short sleep predicts all-cause mortality. We say that there's the minimum of 7 hours of sleep. And some people have argued, perhaps correctly, that look, if you look at these mortality curves, there's not much of a percentage difference between sleeping 6 hours versus the 7 that you're telling me is minimum. So 6 hours is just fine. So all of this nonsense and rhetoric is silly from you. And I think they've made a conflation, because 7 hours is the minimum amount of sleep that you need to survive, because the way that we quantify what minimum is based on whether you die or you don't prematurely. The amount of sleep that you need to survive is different than the amount of sleep that you need to thrive. People will conflate the former with the latter. So you've got to be careful when people are sort of touting on social media. They're saying, well, no, but look, there's not much difference between my sort of survival rate on 6 hours versus 7 hours. You may have just as much of a long life, but the quality of your life will be very different. So that's quantity, 7 to 9 hours.
And does it change for parents, by the way? Because I've met so many parents that seem to be functioning better than me, and they're having like 4 or 5 hours sleep. Did evolution not give parents any leeway or anything when they have kids that suddenly their brain changes and now they can survive with less sleep?
The evidence doesn't suggest that once you go through parenthood, you get some magic sort of, immunity shot, makes you, resilient and not vulnerable to a lack of sleep.